Here we go. This is on the massive reversal on the Trump case. This is about the January 6th indictment against him. But man, they just opened a can of worms. It's going to totally backfire on them. Trump is going to finally have his dream come true of presenting the election evidence that he always wanted in our courts. His lawyer's going to go over that for us. But first, thank you guys for subscribing. We are so close to going over 200,000 subscribers. You're blowing up the channel. My life is good. Trump's life is even better. He is slaughtering it. Let's get to it. Here's Trump's previous lawyer, Jesse Banal, on Jesse Waters' show.
The First Amendment gives you the right to speech, something that Jack Smith's prosecutors are completely ignoring. But more than that, it also gives you the right to petition Congress for redress of grievances. And in this case, when you are saying there was fraud in the election, there were problems in the election, and we think you should seat executors X instead of electors Y, that's something that the First Amendment under the petition clause clearly protects.
Okay, here's the first point. This is Trump's previous lawyer. We'll get to his current lawyer, but his previous lawyer, this Jesse Banal. Trump has a First Amendment right, and then he has a right to redress the Congress, the people that are accusing him of things. He has a right to cross-examination, to bringing out evidence, to subpoena power. We're going to get to that in a minute. Let's keep going.
When they do go to trial, they absolutely, the government has opened up the 2020 election in their indictment, within the text of the indictment themselves. So you bet Donald Trump is going to have a case to show the irregularities and the fraud that was in the election. He can do that. This
is Trump's dream come true. This just blew up in their face. He just wanted to have the evidence brought out in a court of law, and they denied him case after case, and now they have to deal with it. So this is his current lawyer. This is Trump's current attorney.
President Trump will have subpoena power in connection with this case. So we will have the opportunity now, for the first time in many instances, to subpoena documents, to subpoena witnesses, to get to the truth as to what happened in 2020. And that's all that President Trump wanted from day one. He asked Mike Pence, pause the voting, send it back to the states so that they can recertify or they can do an audit. But everything the president did was with advice of counsel and getting to the truth. That should never be criminal.
So now Trump has subpoena power. Who might Trump subpoena? I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Think of every small backwoods piece of evidence that Trump can now subpoena to make his case that the election was crooked. And I'm not even talking about ballots or weird Venezuelan servers or anything like that. Let's subpoena, Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg spent $419 million on nonprofits ahead of the 2020 election and got out the damn vote. Do you think that might be relevant to this case, to why Trump thought there were shenanigans in this case? I can think of some other emails to subpoena. Remember the Hunter Biden story in Russian disinfo? Dozens of former intel officials say. Let's get to the small writing on this. This was during the Biden-Trump debate.
Laptop from hell.
President Trump, we're talking about race right now, and I do want to stay on the issue of race. President Trump,
I have to respond to that.
Please,
because look,
very quickly.
There are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant. They have said that this has all the five former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
Where they said, Biden said, 50 former intelligence officials signed a letter casting doubt on the provenance of the New York Post story on the former vice president's son. And this affected the election. They flat out said it, that the Hunter Biden laptop was key. So what if they subpoenaed not only the Department of Justice, the head of the FBI, and these 51 former intelligence officers about who told them to say that the Hunter Biden laptop was probably Russian disinformation, which was a lie that 50 people told. Let's subpoena them. Okay, here's another one. Let's subpoena the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. What did they do? The court last week ordered Pennsylvania counties to refrain from counting absentee or mail-in ballots for the 2022 general election if their outer return envelopes lack accurate handwritten dates. It also directed the counties to segregate and preserve those ballots instead. Ballots contained in such envelopes were allowed to be counted in the 2020 race, but the court's decision does not mean it determined the election was rigged. Election experts told the Associated Press. So let's subpoena the Pennsylvania Supreme Court and ask why they used two different standards in two different elections to allow certain ballots to be counted. Why did they loosen them in 2020 and then tighten them in 2022? This is just a massive blow up in the face of Jack Smith. Trump is going to have his day in court. The truth is going to come out. Trump will be exonerated as having a free speech right to have an opinion that the 2020 election was not legit. That's only an opinion. I don't care if you or I agree with it or not. I think we all can agree that he can hold an opinion. Thank you all for subscribing again and for leaving a comment. Let me know what you think. Give us a like if you like this material. I'm Doug in Exile.